I'm Art Lewis. Nice to have you with us. Open phones this hour at 989-752-6111. Tony Stamas from the Midland Business Alliance comes along at 10 o'clock during the 10 o'clock hour. And at 11 on Focus, we'll take a look at Rocket Grab Plus and see what's in the store this week. I want to start out with the weather just for a little bit here. As I look out the window right now, everything is snow-covered. It's gray. It's cold. Matter of fact, right now, and actually this is a big improvement from yesterday, but right now we're looking at about 19 degrees. And going to go down again. We may only have a high of like 5 degrees one of the days ahead, tomorrow or next day. Wow. But I've been telling people, because I get asked about it, this reminds me of what it always was in Michigan. When I came here in 74, this is not unusual. Snow on the ground, cold temperatures. It's the last number of years, maybe 8, 10 years, maybe more. We've been spoiled. We've had mild winters, not nearly the amount of snow for the most part. I mean, there's exceptions. But it just seems to me this weather is not new. This weather's a throwback. Here's what it always was in Michigan. Am I wrong? Now, some of you have been here a lot longer than I have. I came in 74. Some of you have been born and raised here, and you remember Michigan weather far more than I do. But from my time here, it seems winter's changed and we're not as severe. And this is kind of a toss-back, if you will. This is what it used to be. You had snow, you had cold weather, and that was winter. So, curious your thoughts on it. Open lines 989-752-6111. Carl starts us off in Saginaw. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art. I grew up in Saginaw as a child, and yeah, this reminds me more of the weather back then in the 60s, except back then it would snow, and then a few days later it would snow more, and then next week it would snow more, and the snow would build up during the winter. Mm-hmm. We don't get that now.
No.
But back then the snow, through January and February, it would get higher and higher because we were shoveling the sidewalk and the driveway, and you had to keep throwing the snow up higher and higher each week.
Yeah.
Because the piles were getting higher and higher.
Yeah.
We get cold weather. We get cold weather, but then, a few days later it's 40, 50 degrees and everything melts.
Yeah, well, this period we're in right now won't happen that way. We are getting snow on snow, but it's very light, so we're not getting the piling that you talk about. But this snow isn't going. This snow isn't going anywhere for a while. Today may be the warmest day for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, there were people who put tennis balls on their radio antennas so you could see them like coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
I don't know if you saw this, but Netflix is putting all the James Bond movies up for streaming.
Oh, really?
Today.
Ooh.
Yes. Going back to Dr. No and Goldfinger,
yep,
all the way up to, the latest releases.
Yeah. Cool. I'll have to go home and
I remember you were a James Bond fan.
Yeah. I'll have to go home and peruse my Netflix and see where it is. That's cool.
Yes.
Good deal.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of those. I always like Sean Connery.
Yep.
To me, he is James Bond.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. And and I remember seeing Goldfinger in the theater. I think it was the Temple Theater, and I was just blown away. I was just, it just blew my mind.
A lot of things were blown away in the film.
Yes, but the idea of robbing Fort Knox, but not actually stealing the gold, but setting off an atomic weapon, so that would make his reserves of gold worth more.
Yep.
What a clever plot,
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for giving me an excuse not to go to bed tonight, I guess. I'll take a look.
Yeah. Except sometimes I zip through, the talking parts, unless they're...
Look for the action,
but, yeah, to the next action scene. Or maybe when he's talking to Q, about his Aston Martin or something like that.
Oh, that's fun, though. All right.
Yes, it is.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Art.
Take care. You too. Bye-bye now, Carl. And here is Mike in Thomas Township. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. That kind of reminded me of, I can remember seeing Dr. No. That was the first James Bond movie I saw. And I was in the Army. I can remember seeing it at a drive-in theater down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Anyway, the reason I called, I'm hoping that one of your lawyer listeners, by that I mean law lawyer, would call in, because I've got a question. This what's happening in Minnesota and other places where they're disrupting, the enforcement of laws. People are both political people as well as their paid agitators. Why can't they be brought up on for a reason? What would it be? Trying to think of what the word would be for, making it impossible for law people to enforce the laws. They're obstructing justice and inciting. And those are, in my opinion, those are legal matters. And why we're not doing anything about it? I mean, these people.
Well, first of all, who knows we're not doing anything about it? Maybe they are. We don't know about it. Secondly, any lawyer that called in to tell you about it wouldn't know any more about it than you do from what they see in the news.
I'm talking about, but is there really a law? I mean, are they, what they're doing, is it?
Well, there are obstruction laws.
Yeah.
The question is, where is the line drawn versus peaceful protest?
Well, that's not peaceful protest.
Well, now just a minute. Now you don't know that. You're not there. You only see what you see in the news.
When you try to run a guy over with a car.
Well, I understand that, but that's the only thing you see.
Yeah, I know
if there's thousands of protesters out there, they're not all trying to run people over with their cars.
I know not all. I never said all, but there are some of them, and I'm saying you got to be selective. Obviously, you can't just arrest everybody in Minnesota, but at the same time, this is getting ridiculous when people can't get to work or when they can't drive their cars, when they're physically like going into a church and obstructing a service.
Yeah, I think there should be consequences.
Yes, but I'd like to see them do stuff, but in a rapid manner, not play around for 2 or 3 months and then decide they're going to do it, because you need to have this prompt justice to prevent it from happening all the time. It just seems like it's just getting way out of hand, especially in Minnesota. My God, it's just crazy there.
Well, move around.
Yeah, well, my grandson was going to law school there when they had the George Floyd thing, and he saw it from right up front. And the police just didn't do anything. Maybe they were instructed not to, but he said that was just ridiculous. But
Well, and there's what you have is the George Floyd thing was twofold. You had protests, but then you had rioters. The rioters should be treated differently than the protesters.
Well, absolutely. That's two different things. But, and right now, I'm sure there's peaceful protesters, too. I mean, I see the people walking around chanting and carrying their signs and everything, all manufactured signs provided by probably the George Soros.
Doesn't matter. They have the right to do it.
Yes, they do. And so I'm not saying that they can't do that. But it's certainly, and they should really try to look and figure out who's providing the money for all these people to come. I think people they don't work, they just come out and protest, but they they got to live somehow. They got to get money coming in, and I don't know how much they're paid, but it's certainly obvious that these people, because it's the same types of people every time, and all the signs are provided and everything. We got people that just hate this country, and it's a shame. I kind of love this country, and I wish that more people did, but obviously there's a lot of them that don't. So I'm hoping that they can start doing some deep dive investigation and find out where the money's coming from, who the instigators are.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You do the investigation, you find out where the money's coming from. Then what? Is it illegal?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I would think that that's kind of inciting a riot, or if you put the money up for it, that. Well,
are you paying the rioters or you're paying the protesters? I'm playing the devil's advocate here.
I know. I understand that. That's why.
But they're legitimate questions because they're going to get asked.
Yeah, I know. But I'm hoping that there's some law, people on that are lawyers.
Well, you wouldn't be able to stop the protesters and somebody from giving money to the protesters. Rioting is a whole other thing, but the protesters, whether they're paid or not paid, have a right to protest.
Yeah, but when you see the government officials like your governor and your mayor, and that is certainly obstructing justice. They're asking people to obstruct justice.
Yeah.
Disobey the laws.
That's a whole other story, and they're being investigated. Maybe something will come of it.
Consequence. I hope so.
Yeah, but I wouldn't count on it.
Maybe it'll slow some other people. I know.
All
right, I understand
good
that.
Enough.
Okay, well, take care, my friend.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All right, 989-752-6111. That's the number.
Pat's Food Center in Freeland has a
Back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and we get back to our phones. We're heading up to Pinconning, where we'll talk to Tom this morning. Tom, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Hey, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that Minnesota, I call it riots.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to point out is how come you don't hear, like in Florida or in Louisiana or Texas, how come you don't hear that going on there? And the reason is because they work with ICE. When the local cops, the local law enforcement, when they have these criminals, these illegal criminals who are murderers, pedophiles, you name it, they give them back to the ICE. They give them to ICE on retainers.
Yep.
Minnesota is a sanctuary state, basically, and they defy ICE. And they wonder why there's 3,000 ICE in there. They're going in with force to get these people because they have to, because Minnesota won't give them up. They would rather have murderers, rapists, child rapists on the streets than give them to ICE. And that's the problem. That's the big problem.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. And, if you looked at a map and you had blue states and red states, you could pretty well point to which ones were going to have problems and which ones weren't.
What's so
sad?
What's so hard about, if you get pulled over by a cop, you actually, what he requests, you do. I mean, normal people do that.
Right.
Not these crazies. Not these crazies. And who goes into a church when they're having service
Yeah.
and protest in
Yep.
a church?
Yeah.
You know,
They need to be dealt with, and so does Don Lemon for
severely.
I shook my head at that one. That makes
I mean,
that makes no. And
I
there's
mean-
there's a specific act against that.
Oh, exactly. There's a couple federal laws against it. And one of the federal laws, the Democrats pushed through to get these protesters, the pro-life protesters, away from the abortion
Yep.
clinics. And they arrested
Yep.
75, 80-year-old grandmothers on those laws and put them in jail.
Yep. Now they're coming back
So
to
I'm
haunt them.
hoping, yes. The common sense has got to prevail. When the cops ask for a criminal, and I'm talking criminals, just cold-hearted, ruthless murderers and rapists,
Yeah, who you
and-
already have in
and
your
you
jail.
can't get them, and you can't get them. What's wrong with that? There's something wrong with that severely.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted to comment on. I
Cool.
hear some of this stuff, and I think about, well, then why aren't they? It's happening in these red states because they cooperate. You don't see these sanctuary cities like you do in California, Minnesota, New York.
Yep. That's the truth.
So it's just that simple. I mean, work with the cops. I mean, when I was growing up, you didn't run from the cops. If the cops pulled you over, you pulled over because you'd get it worse.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, that's still true today.
And the biggest reason that this is all going down, and we all know it, is because of Trump.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Trump.
Trump
And
derangement
everybody,
syndrome.
They have Trump derangement syndrome. They don't want him to succeed. Look at the press. The press is 100% for the Democratic Party. You got all these Democrats coming out and saying defy ICE.
I'm going
ICE
to
needs to
correct
be
you. It's
eliminated.
not 100%, but it's a high percentage.
It's really high. It's really high. I even see it on the local news half the time.
I don't see that so
You
much.
see the slant. You see the slant towards the left.
Yeah. And you also have to make sure you're looking at it through neutral eyes, and that's sometimes
I
difficult.
understand that, and it's
sometimes
hard.
difficult.
It's hard when you're a conservative, and I understand that. But a lot of this stuff is common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, these people are illegals. What part of illegals don't they understand? And we're paying billions on top of billions of dollars for illegals being let into the country, and the only reason they were let in was because they wanted to flip Texas to a blue state.
Yeah.
Because once they flip Texas, they always win the election.
All right. Good enough,
All right,
Tom.
bye.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Here is Mark in Midland. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, I watched Homeland Security had a news briefing yesterday, and they were showing captures that they had, 4 or 5 captures they were recapping as far as murder, rapist in Minnesota. MSNBC, as soon as they started showing that, turned away and was not airing that. That is not helpful in quelling the protests because it creates low information voter. With PBS being canceled, I'd like to see the ICE
Well,
station.
hold on. PBS was not canceled. CFB, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, was canceled. They funded PBS. PBS is still around, and they're funding themselves locally instead of nationally. But PBS is still around. You got to separate that from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
Great. I'd like to see PBS run a ICE station and have on there scrolling the people that they captured in each state, the rapists, the murderer, people who've done crimes that are here illegally, to better educate those that are protesting out there, since it's so popular, that PBS, and we had to have it, and if we canceled it, millions of people would be uneducated out there. Well, if it's still out there, then let's create a program for that so that every person out there can be well educated that Mayorkas let in thousands of people that were not vetted.
Here's the problem.
Under the last minute.
Let me tell you the problem.
Okay.
In general, people today only seek out those opinions that agree with them and only seek out that news that spins it their way. Now, you can say, fine, PBS ought to put this on. Doesn't mean any of them are going to watch it.
More sources out there means more eyeballs watching.
Well, that's you would think so.
Yeah.
But again, you got to be saying what I want to hear.
Is it disingenuous when news stations pull away from what is being live streamed, like when Homeland Security is live streaming?
It's a measure of their integrity. You choose as a viewer to watch it or not watch it. Those that believe in what they're doing and say what they're saying think it's fine. Those that don't, like myself and you, don't. It's easy.
But it bends an agenda.
Well, it may be, but that's the way it is. You choose to listen or not listen.
Fair enough.
I know there's a lot of people that don't agree with me. They don't listen. All right, that's fine. I understand that. I can't please everyone all the time, and I'm not trying to.
No, I'm just trying to educate, or not. I'm not trying to educate, but I think the population should be educated on what ICE is doing besides just ramming a car, doing this.
No, I don't disagree. I just
don't know, the arrest.
Don't know how you're going to do it because you still have to get them to watch.
Fair enough. Yeah, you're right.
All right, Mark.
All righty, sir.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Yep, take care now. All right, quick break. We'll get back to Sean when we return.
Jeff Gronsky here.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and back to our phones. Sean is with us. Good morning, Sean.
Hey, good morning. Excuse me, Art. Good morning, Art. Missed you at the 40 Club last night.
I missed me too. I literally forgot all about it.
Tenderloin.
I know. You don't remind me. I know. I was reminded this morning by an email.
Hey, on a lighter note, I just have a quick question about now that FanDuel is no longer around and you guys have the Red Wings on announce their games. How do you get the Red Wings on TV? Are we going to watch Tiger games in the future?
Well, they're working on it. I know that. I don't know the answer, to tell you the truth. I as far as I know, let me see here. It's an interesting question. Let me see if I can come up with an answer.
I figured you'd at least come up with an answer if you didn't have it.
Yeah, well, don't count on it. Let me see here. Let's see.
Kind of frustrating when you pay for the app and then all of a sudden it's no longer there.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. FanDuel. Well, it's funny. That goes back. I don't see anything here that other than the fact that it's on Fubo, but that's. We're gonna have to take a peek deeper when I have some time and find out. I don't know, but I know. As far as I know, they're still there. So we'll have to see, because the Red Wings have been on recently. So we'll have to take a look and see what happens.
Well, unless I don't know how to use TV, I haven't been able to find them on FanDuel. So
yeah. Have you searched your listings for the Red Wings?
Well, hey, I've got two kids that can do that. They're a lot smarter than me, and they haven't been able to find it.
Well, we'll do some investigating. I'll see if I can find out for you.
All right, buddy. Have a good
day. Take care, Sean. Bye now. It's interesting because that network is it's come and gone and changed names and all kinds of activity. But we will check it out and see what the deal is. I remember there was a discussion about the contracts ending and all that, but I'm sure that the teams are working on a replacement if they haven't already found one. So we'll find out. All right. 989-752-6111, the number to call. Take a moment to talk about tires, particularly winter tires with the weather we're having outside. They are different than your all-season tires. And if you go to Quick Lane Freeland, where they sell all their tires at just $5 over cost, you can find out about winter tires. As a matter of fact, we asked John from Quick Lane Freeland to explain the difference.
Hello, Art. Yes, winter tires are made with a pliable rubber compound that includes silica to stay flexible and maintain grip in freezing temperatures. Unlike harder all-season tires, which stiffen and lose traction in the cold, this flexible compound allows the tire to better conform to the road surface, providing superior grip and traction on snow and ice to keep you safe.
Thanks, John. If you stop out to Quick Lane Freeland on the McDonald Ford property, they will be happy to check your tires for you. Also, have them check your cooling system while you're there, because that's another important part of winter driving, as is the whole car. And you can have all your routine service done right there at Quick Lane Freeland. On the McDonald Ford property, where you find the whole lineup of Ford motor cars, and a wonderful pre-owned lot where they have tremendous values for everyone. McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland, two names standing ready to help you with your auto needs in 2026.
Get ready for an unforgettable.
Back to our phones now on the Art Lewis Show. Joe is in Bay City. Joe, good morning.
Good morning to you, Arthur. Hope you're enjoying your whole morning so far.
So far.
All right. Well, we got a lot of day left yet. A lot of things can happen. Hey, couple things here. I've got a lot to say, but I think we're one caller. I think it was maybe two callers ago. It might have been Tom or somebody else, and he pretty much said, talking about the situation in Minnesota, and he pretty much said everything that I would say. So I'm not going to repeat anything, but if he's listening, I'm with you, and I forget who it was,
yeah.
But I'm with everything he said. Now, that being said, most people have not realized with these protesters, and protest is how we became a free country. There's no issue there. But why are they protesting, and what are they protesting? They're protesting the rule of law, and it's just not Minnesota. It's part of our society now that they protest the rule of law. They do not want to follow it.
Yep.
They want to go their own path. And that scares me, Mark, but it really does, because that's not good for the country.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yep.
And there's also a group of protesters that just like to protest.
Yeah,
Protest
that's
anything.
fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Yep.
I don't have a problem with that. I was a protester when I was 7 years old. And Art Narlock had his steakhouse here in Bay City, and my mother was a waitress there, and they went on strike, and she dragged me down there when I was 7 years old to hold a sign protesting.
Oh, one of the early paid protesters. How about that?
Oh, well, no, I wasn't paid. I didn't get an extra candy.
Oh, yes, you were. You got your
anything.
meals at night and your lodging and your housing, and you were paid.
Well, I suppose maybe indirectly I got something for it, but anyway, that scares me that our country is in Minnesota is a high point of it right now. That so many people are just protesting the rule of law, and that's only bad things can happen in the future with that kind of attitude. So. So anyway, the other thing, your caller called about the Red Wings. Funny you should mention them on TV, because I just saw this morning that January 27th, that'd be, I guess, next Tuesday, the Red Wings are going to be on NBC at 7:30 at night.
Oh, that'd be the game of the week. Yeah.
Which is a rarity, you know.
Yeah, but
and,
it is. But NBC is
hockey
where,
especially.
yeah, the NBC has a hockey contract now, so they will have games.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that's
so anyway, I'm hoping, I'm hoping that the protesters, the radicals, overplay their hand when they win the church, because a lot of people are very upset over that, and it's too bad that there wasn't some young men in there. It was probably middle-aged and older people that were at the service. But I'll tell you what, if I would have been in there, and I'm an old man, I'm almost as old as you. Well, not almost, 4 years yet. and I would have got off my pew, and the first one I could see, I would have jumped on and I would have just sat there. But that's disgusting that they've gone that route now, and that in the long run maybe could be a good thing, and maybe people finally realize what kind of shape we're in. And one final thing, when people go to bed tonight, please say your prayers and thank the Lord that Harris